the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. When can you listen to the Sister Speak Show? At 7 p.m. Central. Tune in on the go or at your residential. Spreaker, YouTube, Alexa, or SoundCloud. Interviewing special guests that have been blessed and will bless us. Through spoken word and awareness, knowledge is wealth if you gain it. Share this in the streets, in the burbs, anywhere that we can be heard. It's about that time to elevate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. It's about that time to stimulate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. Welcome, 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 my brothers and my sisters, to coming to the stage on the Sister Speak Show. I am Ayana, the hostess, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show. Kingdom Child Recordings, executive producer of the Sister Speak Show. My brothers and my sisters, welcome. I want to welcome all of my first-time listeners, and I want to welcome all of my regular listeners. Listen, you're tuning in live to the Sister Speak Show, recorded live and on demand in Dallas County, Texas, Cedar Hill, Texas, to be exact. Well, what is the Sister Speak Show all about? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Let me explain to you what you can catch on the Sister Speak Show after I tell you about my guest coming to the stage this evening. He is the leader, the manager of SDYP, the movement. He is a mogul. He is a poet. He is an artist. He is a manager. He is an innovator. He is an author. Brothers and sisters, Skeet, the young poet, will be live on the Sister Speak Show, and I am so excited. Aren't you? Oh, yes, the lineup is fire. So anyway, let me tell you about the Sister Speak Show, what you can catch on the Sister Speak Show. Excuse me. What you can catch on the Sister Speak Show is this: the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the tour, the laugh line, and the search effort. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. Those are all the segments on the Sister Speak Show. You don't want to miss it. I mean, it's absolutely fire. And we have phenomenal special guests that come on our show. So what you'll catch on the Sister Speak Show is special guest interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, and live on location reports. The special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic, and they are impacting, the community with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show, my brothers and sisters, that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. This is a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. Oh, no reckless entertainment, my brothers and sisters, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb. We go wisdom. You understand what I'm saying to you? Oh, yeah. So how y'all feeling? I hope you're feeling real good this evening. I know I am feeling good. I missed you all. I'm glad to be back on the mic, and we are up and rolling. So you know what? Since we're speaking about poetry tonight, we've got Skeet the young poet calling in. I figured, why not let's just get into the mood and understand that there are rules to poetry. So I pulled up on writersdigest.com 10 essential rules for poetry. Number 1, keep the poetry coming. Painters paint, teachers teach, and poets poem. To excel at writing poetry, you need to flex your poetic muscles daily, even if it's just revising an earlier work. Number 2, read poetry by others. Too many poets worry that their voices will be influenced by the voices of other poets. Don't fall into this trap. You need to study what you like and do not like from other poets and use that as an inspiration for your own work. Number 3, study poetic forms. While you may decide against publishing sonnets and haikus and trying various forms that only can help your poetic development, it says right here After all, the form of a poem is the skeleton and skin that holds the content together for the reader. So you need to be able to study these forms. Number 4, attend open mics. Performing is optional, but poets should at least listen to, the spoken word occasionally. Poetry is much an oral as a visual genre of writing. As such, it benefits a poet to understand the sounds of poetry. Plus, open mics are great for meeting other poets. Number 5, experiment. There's no rules to poetry, and if there is one, try breaking it. It says often the poets who are remembered and quoted are the ones who learned to do something well and then took it in a new direction. Number 6, revise. While there are exceptions, the best poems are written through the revision process. This is a great stage for experimenting. And if a crazy revision doesn't work, remove all of the adverbs just to see what happens. Simply revert to the last draft. Number 7, connect with other poets. Go to readings, workshop, conferences, social media sites, and anywhere else you can connect. Other poets can help keep you motivated to write and submit. Number 8, share your work. Give poems to friends and families as gift. Share good collections you've read. Remember, as a poet, you are an ambassador of your poetry. To those who are afraid to read it or to think it's something they just don't get, you're the ambassador. That means that you represent your work. Number 9, submit. Consult a resource like Poets Market and submit your poems to publications through the simple act of following guidelines and receiving feedback. Whether through acceptance or rejection, you'll learn to target an audience and revise appropriately. Number 10, publish on your own. Take a do-it-yourself stance and share your best work. Look, a lot of people write poetry. It's very common. So those are just some tips that will keep you motivated and inspired and, just keep you doing what you do. Poetry and just writing in general, brothers and sisters, it really heals. It really helps to just write it out, to take that pen or pencil or, type it on your laptop or whatever source that you use to input your words. And, it really just helps to be able to have on-site therapy, and, looking inside of yourself and saying, look, got some things going on. I don't want to pop off. I ain't trying to blow up on nobody. I'm not trying to be extra aggressive. So let me just write a poem. Okay? And like I said, there are so many brothers and sisters who contribute to the literary movement. Brothers and sisters, we have a special guest calling in. Welcome to the Sister Speak Show. Brothers and sisters calling in live to the Sister Speak Show. Calling in live to coming to the stage. Skeet the young poet. Let's give this brother a round of applause. Oh, yes, yes. And how are you doing this evening, my brother?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm alive and I'm kicking.
Yes, so am I. All praises. That's amazing. So, brothers and sisters, like I said, we have a very special treat on the phone, on coming to the stage this evening, Skeet the young poet. My brother, I thank you so much for calling in and accepting my invitation to come on to the Sister Speak Show.
I appreciate you,
Thank you so much. You are definitely welcome. So let's just get right down to it. I was just telling the listening audience, Skeet the young poet has it going on. You have the SDYP, the movement. You're a mogul, you're a poet, you're an artist, you're a manager, you're an innovator, and you are an author. You are a true Renaissance brother, my brother. So let's just get right into it. Who is Skeet the young poet?
Man, I ain't gonna even lie. I'm gonna try to shorten it because I'll be talking forever, to be honest. But I'm just for the most part, I always just wanted to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do, of course, I need finances to make it happen, but it's not even for the money. It's just more so for to make that difference in kids and my my fellow poets, women and man, kings and queens.
Yes.
And like you said, I'm a poet, I'm an author, and I'm the owner of SDYP, the movement. And with SDYP, it don't stand for Skeet the Young Poet. You know, that was the meaning when I was just a poet. But, you know, when I came up with the movement, I needed something that everybody could stand for.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's success, determination, youth, and prosperity.
Ooh, hold up. Let me write this down.
Yeah.
Success. Hold on, my pen. Okay, here we go. Success. I love this. Success. What's the next one? Determination. Love it. Okay, what's the next one?
Youth.
Yes.
And prosperity.
You go ahead, my brother. That's what's up. Brothers and sisters, he just told you. SDYP, originally it stood for Skeet the Young Poet when he was just doing poetry, but now it's something that stands for everybody, and it stands for success, determination, youth, and prosperity. That's what's up. So let's just go ahead and break this down. The success aspect, how does that impact the community?
It's more so like, I feel like, you know, everybody, like, whether you're a poet, whether you're an author, whether you're just working a 9 to 5, or whether, you know, like, whatever you want to be in life, like, everybody just wants to succeed, but,
yes,
you know, I just feel like we all can do it, you know, whether you're a child or whether you're 56 years old, it's never too early, never too late to, you know, strive for what you want and just succeed at it, you know, but most people need to understand that, like, there's no success without failure. So,
right.
You know, like, so a lot of people, we out here failing, but, you know, we got to get back up and keep going, because that's what makes the success part so, like, great, because that's the only way you can be, like, real successful, because you got to fail. Like, you're not going to just become successful without failing and without striving and struggling and all of that.
Ooh, you said it. And, you know, I remember reading a quote by Frederick Douglass that said, where there's no struggle, there's no strength. And so I think when you do not struggle, you miss out on a lot of character development. You miss out on a lot of chances to learn how to be humble, you know, in the struggle. Yeah. The struggle teaches you really the fruits of the spirit. It really humbles you. And I think that's where you get some of the best brothers and sisters from the struggle. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
For sure. So let's go on to determination. What does determination mean for you?
Just more so like determined to get it by like any means, but at the same time, because that by any means is always taken out of proportion.
Right.
Like people lose, like, it's by any means, but not to lose your character, lose your morals and your principles, you know, like keep all that intact, you know, because a lot of people, they ain't getting it by any means. They determined, but it's like you losing yourself in the process. You losing the morals, the principles, like, of being, you know, that king or queen. So I feel like it is more so just, like I said, by any means, but with morals or principles, it's just determined to, like, go for what you know and go for what you want and just take it, you know. Be patient, but take it, you know.
For sure, for sure. And you know what, brother? So many of us struggle with being patient. You know, that is something that when you tell somebody stand right here and wait, whether it's standing in line or whether it's waiting for the light to change, you know, or just waiting for their season, quote unquote, to come. You know, a lot of people struggle with patience. So what do you think would be advice, if you will, for those who are struggling with the patient part of that, being patient, you know?
I ain't gonna lie, I run into it all the time, because I ain't gonna lie, more so grabbing on to, like, as far as, like, to the ones that are struggling with it, I can't really say what to say to them, but, like, it's grabbing on to something, like, to know why you're doing it or whatnot, because, like, with this movement of mine, like, you know, I manage, like, a lot of individuals, and we're working on the music and the label division side of things. And, you know, a lot of people don't know, like, most of the people you hear about 2 Chainz, you know, Plies, singers, rappers, or whatever, it took them 10 or 15 years to get where they at today. You know, the biggest labels that's trying to do what I'm trying to do from the ground up, like Def Jam's Atlantic, it took them about 30, 60 years to get where they at now.
Yes,
so
yes.
You really gotta have patience. So like, I get them artists that just be like, they want it right now. They don't want, and I always say you gotta understand the process, because it's not whatever you want. It ain't gonna just come right now. Like, you know, if it come, it come. You know, as a blessing. If it come early, it come early. But you just gotta, like, whatever you doing, you got. It all leads back to morals and principles too, because a lot of people, they doing it for the money. Whatever they doing for the money.
Right.
And if you ain't got no morals or principles, no real like what I do, like whether it's the poetry, whether it's the music, whether it's my movement, it's all like I'm passionate about it. And nothing can really take me back from that. I could be going through it, or things could be going slower than I want to do, but I could see the future. And I ain't like that. They going right there. Like, it's more so saying the future. Like you got to really believe in it and envision it.
Yes.
Because if you believe it and you envision it, like, I'm 10, 20 years from now, like I'm never really here right now. You know, like
right.
I might be enjoying the moment or whatnot, but a lot of people will be around me like, Skeet always thinking, but I am, because I'm like, I ain't gonna be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
That's what's
you
up.
You gotta grab on to something and just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Like, and don't forget yourself.
Right. Ooh, my brother, you are powerful. See, I see why everybody was like, yes, you got Skeet coming on. See, this is why. Oh, yes. It's going down this evening, and I'm enjoying this conversation so far. So when it comes to the youth, what is the passion behind the youth aspect of SDYP?
I ain't a lot more tears that we said that, but because that's who we do it for.
Right.
That's who I do it for, because like what, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the reasons I started with the music. It's cost effective too, because I'm doing this all off of just me. Like, I literally just stopped working my 9 to 5 with a youth thing, and just it's all SDYP outside of my relationship. But that's who, like, those the ones that matter. And then with this music industry or whatnot, or whatever, society, Instagram, Twitter, social media, everyone's like, you got leaders out there, but they're not real leaders. They're leading them down to like a road of destruction.
Yes.
You know, I feel like we gotta like point them in the right direction, and not more so like forcing them, just something that they could look up to and just, you know, like know that, this, you know, it might not be so much the right way, but you know, this is what I can do, or I don't know, I could go on and on about the youth, to be honest, but they matter the most, because they really don't got nobody to really just grasp on to and like follow it without going down the road of destruction, like, and you know, most, like, you know, it's just money. You know, a lot of people see money with most of the people that are role models. And they're like, I want to be that, but not realizing, like, it's like back to morals and principles. Like, no morals, no principles. And people just, like, they just going for the bag or the money, whatnot. Like, just giving the kids something to look up to for the most part, and just, like, letting them know, like, they could be anything they want to be. Like,
yes.
I really believe that. Like, you could be, like, you know, I've been taught that as a child. You know, a lot of people think it's just a saying, but I really feel like you could be anyone or anything you want to be. You just, and it's back to what you asked about patience. You know, you got to be patient and just strive for it, you know. Put a plan together, you know, and just see the future. Most part, believe in yourself, because any journey you on, you're going to get discouraged. People might be saying, I ain't going to work, but you got to believe in it, you know.
Oh, yes.
And, like, the kids got to see this, you know.
Oh, yes. No, and you know, the thing about it is, you know, our youth are like, they're in a 911 crisis. They definitely are. I used to teach. I've worked with youth for well over 15 years. I've worked at juvenile hall. Gone to juvenile hall and done presentations. I've always worked with the youth, and you know, they are so desperate for love and so desperate for somebody to pay them attention. And
that is so true, right there. Like, Yeah, they are.
They are. They're so desperate for attention that, going down to what you said, is that, you know, they're not making the best decisions or the healthiest decisions, because children, you know, that is something where you have to be hands on nonstop. It's not something that you just, you know, you conceive, you give birth, and whatever. Because I see a lot, I have run into a lot of young people that their parents or their guardians just said whatever. And so they're so clingy, and they do destructive things because they just want somebody to say, hey, you stop. That's not right. And even if they may know that it's not right, they still just need a parental figure to invest in them. Otherwise, you end up where people have to cross the other side of the street, or they're so intimidated by a group of young people that they can't walk up to them and teach them any wisdom. See, everything is backwards now. You know, the roles of leaderships, or the leaders that we're supposed to have, we don't have all of them. And so then the youth are suffering. And a lot of people are afraid to talk to the young people. There is a gap between the generations that makes us not be able to work together, and that makes the youth just feel like nobody cares about me because of that gap. I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's a disconnect between the communication from the older generation to the younger generation?
I'll say yes and no. Like, and then more so, like, 'cause I was raised, I don't, like, and I'll say yes and no because I say more so because I was raised at that point of time where, like my mama and my stepfather, my father, I call him, you know, daddy too, but they was, you know, firm with me. And when I remember I just went back home like a week, not home because I'm from Miami, but my mom know they stay in Atlanta now. And I just went up there, and I always tell my mom, like, man, what happened? You know, like, my mom know they still, like, they somewhat firm, but it ain't like it used to be. Like, you know, you could it's like they're not getting on them like they was when I was a child. And it's worse. Like, I ain't like, it's a lot worse when you go to a lot of other families. Like, the parents are not really there no more. Like, no more than, and now I said it's a yes because, like, yes on your end, because most of the parents now, like, they too busy trying, like, ain't nothing wrong with being cool with your child or whatnot.
Right.
Like, they too busy trying to be cool, too busy, like, why are you trying to fit in with your kids, you know?
Say it.
You know, more so, you know, and I was just raised on more the old school term, you know?
Hello.
Like, I'm about to be 30 next year, but, like, I was just raised on the point, like, and that's why I said, like, I see the gap, what you're saying, but I just feel like nowadays, like, even the parents from back in the day, like, it's not all of them, but it's a lot of them trying to get hip to it, like, hip to what the youth doing, like, instead of, like, going back to what it used to be, you know, like, I would love for it to go back where it used to be all around, because, you know, a lot of kids probably ain't like it, might probably got mad, but you knew that your mom and your father, like, if you really just sit, like, if you grown right now, you sit back and say, like, dang, I was mad, like, they did all this and that, but they did it because they love me, and they gave me the right direction. Whether if I went left and they told me to go right, I could still look back and like, dang, I should have went right, you know, because it's just knowing that, like, they was trying to, like, I ain't like, kids, they gonna be who they gonna be, you know, but at the end of the day, like, if you at least got that in your ear, you can always be like, man, like, it's time for me to go back, even if it's 20 years later, because they were always in my ear saying this. I'm sorry, I be always going all, when you talk, I don't know how you going everywhere when you.
No, that's what this is, a talk show, my brother.
I know, but I understand, but we'll end up on a talk show.
And that's what, look, let me explain something to you. This is the Sister Speak show, okay? If you got to get it out, get it out. That's what we do, because we're about informing. We're about sharing our passions and our journeys. And if this is your experience, this is what you've seen, this is what the listeners need to hear and know. You know, that's why, like I said, this is a talk show. We vibe out, you know. And so, like, I was raised old school like you too. My parents were much older than me, like 30 years older than me. So I know what it is to be whooped with the belt. I know what it is to be slapped for being disrespectful. I'm just being honest. Like, my parents retaliated for any type of disobedience that came my way, came from me. Now, the flip side of that is when it comes, I feel like, to parenting, sometimes I think parents don't leave room for their child to make mistakes. You know, some people do, some people don't. I just feel like parents more so forget sometimes that they were young, that, you know, that they got into some things sometimes. And so, you know, there has to be a balance between disciplining your children and relating to your children, not being their best friend, you know, but being able to relate. You know, if, like, last night, I'm not gonna lie, I was watching the Rap Game with Jermaine Dupri. You know, I think, have you ever seen, you know, I was watching that.
I ain't gonna barely watch TV, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I was watching, I had paid attention to that last night, and there were, you know, they have these young people on there. They're trying to, you know, sign a contract with So Def. And there was a young boy on there. He's 12 years old. He's from the A. And he didn't do well. He just did, according to his mother, he didn't do well. And so he was crying. And this boy, you know, it's already, young men are already taught, big boys don't cry. Hold in your emotions. So he's crying. So he's allowing his tears to fall freely. And his mother wasn't comforting him. She was telling him, quit crying. You know, fix your face. You know, just really going in on him. And I was just looking at it and I'm like, okay, this young boy is crying and he's got to work through this emotion by himself. That his mother, who women by innately are supposed to be nurturers, but she had turned that off and was telling him, suck it up. And, you know, when you do that, when you tell a man or a young boy to turn the faucet off, you know, you can end up having what's called a leaky faucet. And then you may end up having to call the plumber. I'm saying that to say that you should never, you know, cut off a young man's emotions. So I just kind of want you to speak, you know, I just want you to speak a little bit towards men and their emotions, you know, the youth and their emotions. And how do you feel like the village can do a better job of supporting young men when it comes to their emotions?
Honestly, I think we just need to send our young men down a whole nother direction. Because, to be honest, what you just said, like, there's nothing wrong with a man crying. At all, like, and it needs to be done. Like I tell everybody, like if I'm feeling it, I'm gonna cry right in your face.
Right?
Like, I don't care if I'm a man or a woman.
Right.
Like, it needs to be done. Like, I do it all the time, you know.
Right.
Most of the poems you might see on Instagram or that been written, like, it's written off of, like, really my life.
Wow.
So it's like as a child, like, I remember, like, I wrote this poem, and it was, what it was called. I don't even remember what it was called, because I was real young. I've been writing since a kid, but I wrote it, and I was cursing. My mom actually talked, that's what it was. I talked about it in a poem I dropped on an EP a year or two ago. And it was like I was cursing in it, and my mom picked it up, and she was like, and that when my mom was like, "Oh, you cursing now?" And that's back to the poem I'm talking about. In the poem, I said I replied to my mom like, "Only when I write." And but what it was though, like even from a kid to now, like I done been in and out of relationships or whatnot, but before this relationship I'm in now, I could vent to you, like if I'm with you, like I feel like I should be able to vent to you. But nowadays in this new society, it's hard. Like even a woman, like it's hard to like find that woman like you supposed to be able to vent to. Like they actually like the woman that come to you like you a B. And you be like, and, you know, and this is society though. It's not just the woman. It's society as a whole. Like they tell you a man's not supposed to cry. You know, but back to that whatever. Like I was saying, like so. It always been like I get in my corner and I probably like cry and I just grab a piece of paper or grab my computer and I just write, you know, whatever I'm going through. You know,
wow,
it's healthy to be honest. You know,
it
like
is.
To cry to let out whatever you're going through. So like I feel like that would need to be done. Like whether you a man or a woman, like, it needs to be said to women too because you know women they trying to like be strong like. But they don't understand you're not being strong if you're not letting it out.
That's right.
You see here, you holding all this in and like you need to let it out. You know, whether you gotta write, whether you gotta find something that you can vent through, like, but you gotta just let it out and like it's healthy for you. It's therapy. Like poetry is therapy for me. Like I don't do it for the art. You know, most poets they do it for the art, but I actually do it to vent. And I found a blessing in it at the same time because I was able to vent, but then I found out my fans, like, they able to relate to this. They, like, when they hear, like, dang, this dude went through this too. You know, so they hit me in the DM and, like, and they ask me questions or advice, and I always tell them, like, just let it out.
Wow. That's what's up. Hello?
Yeah,
okay, I just making sure you were. I was like, I didn't lose you. You know, brothers and sisters, what my brother is sharing with you this evening is wisdom, and I hope you're picking this up. You know, when it comes to society, I just want to ask you all a question. Have you ever met society? Have you ever seen them? Have you ever attended any of their meetings? Who is society? Oftentimes when we are referencing a point, we say they said. Well, who is they? Who is society? Who is this organization that puts out ways that you're supposed to be and function? Who is this group that creates restrictions on how you're supposed to move and breathe as a free human? Who is this group that tells you that you're not supposed to cry if you're a man? If there is a group, quote unquote, called society that's out there, that says that a man is not supposed to cry, then we must also determine and conclude that this group is full of fools. And you have to recognize a fool when you see one and you hear one. And it's not so hard to do when you have discernment. But I just want to encourage my brothers, like I have done on previous shows. You must cry. You must let it out. If it hurts, holla. If it hurts, yell. If it stings, say something. You need to get it out because if not, you will explode. You will explode constantly. You will end up going off on people who are close to you that love you. And then when you keep doing it and keep doing it, you can eventually push them away. Why? Because when that thing happened, that heartbreak, that failure, that illness, whatever it is, that insult, when that thing happened, you didn't process it innately and you didn't process it naturally. You process it according to what they said. And what they said now has you an emotional wreck. You're always at the accident. No healing, no chiropractor, no x-rays, no massage, no therapy plan, no physical therapist. You're just always at the accident. Why? Because they told you that it wasn't okay to cry. And that's a lie. You know, the one thing that we have to acknowledge is this, that the devil is a liar. And he tells several lies, multiple lies, many lies. He's a pathological liar. And what he will do is he will have you, or try to have you, not operating naturally as a human male, as a human female. I need you brothers to cry. And sisters, I gotta say this, you know, I'm not for the sisters, I'm not for the brothers. I'm for humans, I'm for what's right. So I'm for my brothers and my sisters. Sisters, when it comes to brothers crying or wanting to express themselves, if you are that sister that says, oh, you acting like a punk, or you acting like a bitch, or and I'm just using that word, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I keep it 100. If you are calling him an F-boy, if you calling him bitch made and all those other type of things, sister, woe unto you. And I rebuke you. And I'm asking you to repent, and I'm asking you to stop tearing down your brothers. Stop tearing these kings down. They need to cry. And I don't know who taught you that it was okay to talk to a man like that or make him feel bad when he is expressing himself. But I'm telling you, you were taught wrong. And you need to stop. Now, I'm not here to, just get on your helmets to the point to where it's like, she's doing too much. But I got to keep it 100 with you. You're out of line, sisters. There's a strong disconnect between the relationship between the brothers and the sisters. And it all starts with the tongue, your mouth. Sisters, sometimes you just need to shut up. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but sometimes you got to be quiet. And you got to listen. And you got to allow these brothers to function as they are, so then in the end, we all can have a good day. I just had to get that out. Thank you for listening, my brother. I just, I ain't
mad at you. It need to be said.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So let's move on to prosperity. What is the prosperity aspect, and how does that relate to the movement?
Just more so, I just wish that everybody just prosper in what they do. Whether you're officially a part of the movement, like I tell my I got a few appointed CEOs, because my goal is to fade away behind the scenes and just be the voice of it more so. But I pretty much I just want everybody to prosper in what they do for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And and what I was really saying is whether you're a part of it or not, you can everybody that's DYP.
Yes.
That's what initially was built for, to give some people something to stand for. Cause I feel nobody's standing for anything anymore, and that's the goal, to really let people know, this is something for you to stand for. And like I told you before, it's never too late or too early to chase your dreams. You could be 100 years old if you're still alive and kicking, and you got inspired to follow this dream, follow it. If you're 2 years old and you could speak, or whenever you start talking and you believe it's your dream, start it then.
Yes.
So, I wish somebody told me that I could have started really pursuing poetry when I was in high school. I sold $5 poems.
Wow.
But I ain't really get inspired to really pursue it until I was in the military, and I seen them I was overseas, and I seen them taking on to my poems. And when I get back, I'm gonna write a book. And
wow.
I just can't.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. And with prosperity, prosperity, brothers and sisters, a lot of times if you've grown up attending church or going to church on a Sunday, and I put church in quotations because we are the church. But when you go, and you hear about prosperity and this, that, and the third, a lot of people think prosperity is just strictly materialistic. I have grown to know that prosperity has many different levels to it. And true prosperity is wisdom. To have wisdom is true prosperity. And I'm going to tell you why, brothers and sisters, because in this day and age, or just in general, in your journey, you need wisdom. Wisdom enables you to make healthy decisions. Wisdom enables you to say, maybe I shouldn't do this. Wisdom enables you to seek more wisdom. Wisdom sets you apart from the basic, the average. And so when you have wisdom, you're prosperous. And when you have true prosperity, like I said, when you have the wisdom, it just enables you to move through this world a little bit easier. I know the world, we suffer, we have trials and tribulations, but in order to have, now a lot of people just want the financial aspect of prosperity, but when you have wisdom and you have the fruits of the Spirit and you have, good character, when you have dignity, when you have a good presence about yourself, that's prosperity also. And I just don't want people to just chase a Federal Reserve note, okay, and not understand what it truly means, because a lot of times that word is skewed and it is miscommunicated and it is not defined properly. And a lot of people just looking for, if I put $10, if I put 10% in every month, I'm going to be prosperous. And that's not what it's about. We're talking about a deeper level of soul searching, being able to live and survive every day. That's prosperity. I'm saying something. Being able to keep your head above water, that is also prosperity. So, prosperity has longevity if you have the wisdom to maintain it. So I just want to encourage my brothers and sisters out there to understand that, that you need that wisdom. You need to always be seeking knowledge. Without seeking knowledge, you're lost. Ain't nothing worse than just being dumb. And I'm not trying to be rude, but what a waste of time. See, for me, Skeet, I cannot do, I can't do dumb. That's just something that I'm absolutely allergic to. And I think some people think it's cute, but for me, can't do it. I just, our brothers and sisters are, we come from several generations of very intelligent people. Our people have contributed to this world with several inventions, okay? Most of everything you see, our people invented it. So I'm not going to accept below average from my brothers and my sisters. I'm not going to accept, I don't like to read. I don't like to drink water. You don't like to do anything that would build you up and make you a vessel for the community. It's just real, brother. It's just real. So moving on from that, with SDYP, the movement, how many brothers and sisters, or do you just cater towards the brothers, or do you deal with brothers and sisters? How many are you mentoring, or what all does this movement do throughout the community?
For the most part, I started it, the movement as a whole, I started it in 2013. And for that year before that, I just observed people that I just supported people. A lot of people don't know that's whatever you do, just support people. You're gonna go somewhere if you support others. Don't even promote yourself to support other people that out of the blue come out with stuff. But
yes,
for a year I was observing people, and I reached out to at least over 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
People that I obviously was a part of some of their movements, their groups. Some of them I just knew them. They did music, they acted, they was models, they was radio hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I was like, I want you to be a part of this. And I remember everybody Skeet, what you want me to do? At that time, I was my following was still it wasn't nowhere near where it's at now. Nowhere near. But I was just still a step ahead of the people I was reaching out to. Some of them I feel like they was where I was, they just didn't believe in themselves enough. But I reached out to them and I just said, I want you to rock with me, and that part back then it was just more so people just repping SDYP.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get on little podcasts yours, and I used to get on podcasts like yours, and when I did that, I would come off with it, and then if I see somebody and what I did was they just had the hashtag SDYP, rep it, and I just observed how they moving. If you're a model, if you grinding and doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing, if you grinding the hardest that month, I would actually come out my own pocket and put them on an interview on something I did. If it was an interview that I didn't have to pay for, I'd be what I gotta do to get somebody that I put them on. Then if I had to pay for it, I'd pay out my little check and do that, and I'll just build it from there. And then it kind of evolved into a business. And it's still and as I evolved into the business, and that's why I say you gotta fail to get where you want to go, because I had a lot of times where I had to take a few steps back.
Mm-hmm.
girls try to go turn up, go to the club. But me, I was going in the overdrive to go get hundreds of shirts, to go get something to put some brand, to go get that person that interview. And I just seen people weren't as serious, but I still, like, they were still a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as I evolved into the business, I jumped into the music. And that's what I was like, that's what I was telling you, like, at the beginning of the interview, I was like, the music was something I started focusing on now because it's the most cost effective. And when I was building the movement, we had people in Africa, people in different countries, like, over 100 people just with it. But we didn't even have music out, and I seen things like, well, I was saying, like Def Jam and Atlantic that been around for 60 years. Before there was more of a label, there was a movement. And I was saying, like, if I had music and I got this movement, like, I could really touch the people. And they had the most of my artists ain't have to be about what I'm about as far as the music-wise, but as long as I feel like they stood for it, I could mentor them and whatnot, and they could put out music through it, and I'd just be the vessel to, like, put out that positive energy, like, you know, and be their mentor at the same time, because that's the only way I could touch the world if I could get somebody that's in the streets, somebody that's in the church, and somebody, like, all different type of people, but they themselves when they do this music. But to, like, really answer your question, like directly, like, it might be, I say directly at this moment might be a little under 100, but it could be more than that, because every now and then, like, I'm mentoring people on and off, like, on a day-to-day basis. It's like, it's probably 20 on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm always on their line saying, do this, do that. And they actually run my company. Like, they run SDYP in different aspects. But at the same time, I'm mentoring them as a human being, but mentoring them as a business person and a mogul or a manager or whatnot. So when I really get this where I want to go, I can have them run certain parts, and I could be, you know, a difference in their life and help them be a difference to the world.
That is, my brother, I salute you. I really, really do. I'm listening to you, and I hear it. I hear your passion. I hear your desire. I hear how you're impacting. I hear how you are definitely a boss, definitely a mogul. And I just want to commend you, and I want to salute you for impacting the community with your passions and being absolutely phenomenal and dynamic and serving, you know, these brothers and sisters. You know, that's why, like I said, I had you come on the Sister Speak show. I looked on your page and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm feeling this, you know. And it's about making the known, you know. Many people know who Skeet the Young Poet is, you know. And I just wanted you to come on the show so I could share with our listeners, local, national, and international, who you are and why you are. And why you are, you know. It's one thing in our life to know who you are, but then to come in your journey and to know why you are. Why I am who I am, why all the things that happened to me in my life happened to me, how this experience was connected to that experience which then led me to, be on a platform that I'm on now, how everything is interconnected, you know. I just want to commend you, like I just said, for what you're doing. I am always impressed with my brothers and sisters who are doing it big. And, you know, some people say, why don't you have Rick Ross? Well, why don't you have this person on and that person on? You know, and it's like, they're everywhere. But there are a group of brothers and sisters who are just as impacting. It just depends on how you're looking at it. You know, I'm not for idolizing anybody. But there are so many brothers and sisters everywhere, doing it big, that they only get a certain amount of recognition. They only get a certain amount of accolades and pats on the back. So the Sister Speak show is designed to encourage my brothers and sisters, to uplift my brothers and sisters, and to make, like I said previously, the known. So what you're doing, my brother, is absolutely beautiful. I love all of what it stands for. You know, I love success, determination, youth, prosperity. I mean, it's absolutely dope. So we definitely want to give you your props for all of what you're doing concerning this movement. Now, I also read that you are a mogul. You're a poet, obviously. You're an artist, manager, innovator, and author. I want to skip to the last part when it comes to author. Let's talk about that. When did you, well, we know you've been writing for a long time, but let's talk about the author aspect of Skeet the Young Poet. What's that about?
That's what, to be honest, though, as far as this whole business and the molding, that's where it started at.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I always wanted to be a writer. Like, because I always wanted to be everything, anything that could make a difference.
Yes.
And, I've been writing forever, but, like, when I got, well, I served, our country for 5 years.
Salute to
and
you.
Thank you. And while I was serving, I used to, I wasn't really writing poems. I was typing them and just printing them out. I used to put them in this binder in the screen protectors, and I had the book, the binder itself on the front. You would say the Black Book, and pretty much that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And it had hundreds of poems, probably 300-400 poems. Like,
wow.
I could write a poem or two a day.
Wow.
And, I was in Afghanistan at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to send out poem of the day. It was to my family members, to the colonels, the sergeant majors, friends, like hundreds of people. I used to send out poems of the day, like, and it'd be a different poem every day of the tour. Like, I was out there for a year.
Wow.
And like, even back then, I used to just write off the head. Like, it was never just like I sat there for an hour or two or a day or three. Like, I just write off the head. Like, just write what I'm feeling. Like, it might be an old feeling. It might be confused with a right now feeling and an old feeling. I used to just write, when I did that, I was just like, I made it my business, and I was like, I'm going to write a book, whatever it takes. I would Google it, like, publishers. And I probably spent $1,500 to publish my first book.
Wow, brother. Wow.
And then when I got back, it was like, actually, I published it my last year in the military. And a year later, I published 2 more books. And I was in North Carolina at some small town.
Mm-hmm.
But I sold probably 200 books face to face, like literally hand to hand, knocking on doors on people I knew, and probably gave out 500 or 1,000 books, like in restaurants. Had kids. I loved kids. I loved kids when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be in my home that I stayed in North Carolina. I used to be outside throwing football with the kids. Like, all the kids knew me, and like, I would just talk to them, like, and I had, like, a few kids that used to stay around, like, come to my house and just chill sometimes. And, like, I would, like, take these 100 books and just go pass them out at McDonald's. And, I had little business cards, right, back then, too. I used to be, like, I was just out there, like, letting people know I was here, doing little events. I even was a part of a group at a time, poetry group called Speech back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that we got, the speech group actually got me into performing. I never was a performance or recording poet. I always was like, I'm just going to be a writer. I never knew it went that far. But what happened was, that's why I said that what evolved me into, like, becoming who I am is more so on a business or even tapping into music was I was at Burger King with a friend, and I gave the dude a card. His name, my government name is Devin, and his name's Devin too. But I handed him the card, and I'm like, and he was like, I know you. What's color? He's like, and it happened probably 10 times that week. Like, I'm like, this whole city know me, so what's going on? And then on top of it, I became a part of it. That was more so that what got me into, like, wondering, like, how is Diddy, how is Maya Angelou, how is all these, like, popular, innovators, musicians, authors, like, what are they doing? Because this whole city, I should be saying something,
Right.
And what I was realizing more so, it was into branding. Because, Diddy, he might not be the best artist, or Drake, everybody knows Drake, but everybody doesn't like him, you know, despite how famous he is. But if he drops a song today, it's going to get 1 billion streams just because of his name, not because of the song. So
Yeah.
not good, you know, but they're going to at least give it a listen.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So that what got me into, like, I was like, and I sat there and thought, like, of myself, and, like, I always felt like, not to be cocky, I just felt like the world needed me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was more so on a level, like, back then I felt like, you know, the world was losing its way, but, like, now it's worse. You know, so it's like, I really felt like they needed me. So I'm like, if these people, whether, you know, they're ignorant or, you know, they're not trying to lead people in the right direction, people can fall in love with them. I know they can fall in love with me.
Say that.
You know, so when that happened, that what got me into the brand aspect. And then the speech group was more sort of, like, it made me tap into, like, thinking about, like, performing poetry, because I'm a challenging individual. So, you know, we're in a group, and it's like, it's 3 guys, and actually the craziest part about it, the owner and a few other guys at a point in time was a part of my movement after that, you know, after it went down, you know, because it doesn't exist anymore. But whatever, like, we used to, like, get together. It was a bunch of poets. We used to get together and just read poems to each other. And we could go to little churches and perform poems. And what happened was most of us didn't really perform poems, but, you know, like, they'd be like, okay, we practicing to perform, but I'm like, I'm not going to be the person not performing, so I got into, like, recording it. And then we was putting this poetry mixtape together, like a compilation, but it never got done. But I was in the studio with a DJ, and he was like, you rap? And he said something about my voice. And I was like, no, I don't rap. You know, like, but he was like, you got that raspy voice, like, you should rap. But I still didn't, like, I still don't want to be a rapper. But later on, I was a part of this. Later on, I ended up becoming a part of this site. And what happened was the dude, and it was a blessing and a curse, because I lost $5,000 to a situation, like, investing in it, and like, he put it into his daughter. He was actually Too Short. He used to work with Too Short or something like that. He was telling me about the situation at University Music Group. And what happened was a part of me giving him the money, he got me on this site. And the site, when he got me, though I said it was a blessing and a curse, because it made me think about doing music, you know, like, with my poetry.
Yeah.
Not rapping, but like more of a jazz vibe. You know? Because what happened was the guy, he took one of my performances, like I used to just record little poems on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He took one of them, and I went and listened to it on the site. It was like, it really was like a jazz type vibe, and it was just like, I loved it. I'm like, people can do this? Like, I ain't got to go, like, grab a beat and rap with, like, spit the poetry to the beat, because I don't got patience for that.
Right.
and then at the same time, like, I wanted to add my cadence with my voice. So, like, I want to be able to, like, do it, like, how I want to do it. And that's, like, slower than R&B music. That's what I do. It's slower than, like, I'm talking to you really slow, though.
Right.
And when he did that, that would really fuel the trying to record and, like, perform poetry and whatnot.
Wow.
And, yeah, and then from that, like, but as far as the whole author thing, like, I'm actually about to tap back into that towards, like, I'm aiming on it towards the middle of the night. We're going to 18, I mean, I'm already in, see, I told you I'd be in a whole nother year. But, like, my goal, look, I actually had a few publishers, some known publishers reach out to me, like, a month or 2 ago. And they've been trying to get me to come on board. But, like, to be honest, though, SDYP, I told you we were focused on the music. It's supposed to be a book publisher. Like, we're supposed to be everything. Like, but music is the most cost-effective thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I might work with a publisher, but I'm going to come back out. But when I work with a publisher at first, I plan on SDYP is going to be publisher for other authors. I want to do, like, a traditional and a self-publishing. You know, I kind of learned the loops from the publishers I work with. I actually used to talk to the publishers all the time. But, you know, like, that what got me more into, like once I realized I could do the music thing and, like, people messing with it, and I'm different, you know, like, you're not going to hear a dude on a Lauryn Hill vibe, you know, or Erykah Badu vibe, you know, like, it's a dude doing it, so it's different. And at first, you know, that's why I said people be scared to do what they're capable of, because it's different, or people are
Right.
hands to it. And that's what it was for me, but I was never really scared because I remember doing the acapella versions of what I do now, and people like, what the hell is this?
Mm-mm.
You know, I had people say it to me, and I had people like come in the comments say this and that. But me, I used to reach out to them in the DMs, and I'd be like, "Can you tell me what was wrong?" And you know, some of them actually be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean." I'm like, "No, you didn't offend me. Like, I want to know what's wrong." Like, I respect the opinion and criticism. And then, you know, most of them actually thought I was trying to rap or sing. Like, some of them thought I was a singer. And I was like, no, I'm just, and once you, and that's the thing about it, once you actually talk to these people and explain to them what you're doing and what you're trying to do, and they go back and listen with another, they're like, oh. And that's what it was, though. Like, I actually told a couple of them that, you know, I'm not trying to rap to you. I'm not trying to turn you up.
Right.
I want you to be able to put on them headphones or put on your music and just like relax. You know, just I want to be your third conscious. You know, you got God and the devil on one, like God on one side, the devil on the side. I want to be that dude in the middle that just giving you all your ultimatums and just giving you the reality of life. You know, like whether it's about life, love, relationship, sex, or whatever. Like, but just giving it to you how it's supposed to be. Like, not by the ways or the rules of society. You
right.
know?
Right. Oh my God. No, I get it. I appreciate you, my brother, for sharing that. You know, it's just like, man, you really like got it going on, and it's just sitting here like, this brother is pretty dope. And I want to share with the listening audience, you know, the names of your books, because for you to be what sounds like a 3-timed author, published author, like, big ups to you. And that I just had Malika Gano on a couple. Yeah, I had her on a couple of Sundays, and she actually last Sunday, and she was just amazing. And you know, just listening to her story about being an author, now hearing you being an author, I just think that's amazing. Brothers and sisters, there's nothing that you can't do, and this brother's here to prove it and to show it to you. I mean, you hear his testimony, you hear his journey, you hear his passions. So my question to you, brothers and sisters, and this is no disrespect, but what are you doing? What are you doing today? What does your vision look like? What does your passion feel like? And basically, I'm just going to take this. You know, what does success look like to you? What does determination look like to you? How are you serving the youth? And what is prosperity to you? And I feel like after speaking with Skeet this evening, that there's some things that we need to do in order to help impact the communities, because, you know, he can't do it by himself. I can't do it by myself. But each and every one of us has been giving not only one, but a few assignments, a few tasks that we must complete in this journey, on our journeys. And so I just want you guys to be awake. I want you guys to be aware of what it means to serve your brothers and sisters, because that's what it's about. Now, let's talk about your books. Go ahead and tell everybody the name of your books, and then if they're still available for purchasing.
Okay, the first one ever was the Black Book, Volume 1, The Year of the Writer. And the next one was the Black Book, Volume 2, Skeet the Import, Wouldn't Exist Without You, Lord. And around that same month, The Mysteries, Powers, and Confusions of Love, Volume 1. And you might, I ain't gonna lie, you looked up my name on Amazon, you might still see them, like, but in all honesty, no. That's what I was really getting to as far as the author side of things. Like, when I got all into the branding side of things, I actually pulled them back. Like, it was on Barnes and Nobles and everything, and I just pulled them back. Because when I come back out within this next year, I'm going to actually put a book out called Where It All Started before I go into, and it's actually going to be just a compilation of them books you just, like, heard me title. I'm going to just do a compilation of them, and then I'm going to come out with more books. But right now, I just been doing music, so, you know, like, they're on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatnot. You just look up Skeet, the young poet, does spell DA and young is without the O. And just look at that, because really, it is more about writing. It's just more with some music behind it, some relaxing music. It's just poetry but music.
That's what's up. No, Soul Scribe the poet, she was on. She's got poetry CD, a few of them, and she's on SoundCloud. So no, I like that vibe. I like the whole vibe of putting the lyrics to, a nice beat that doesn't overpower the lyrics, doesn't underpower the lyrics, but just, kind of just a nice little ambiance to add to the feel. I'm all for that. And, brothers and sisters, this brother right here has it going on. I'm just going to keep saying it on and on. Check him out on Amazon. See if he's still on there. And he's getting ready to come out again with another book, Where It All Started, which is a compilation of all the other books that he's put out. Brother, how often do you go into the phone booth and change into Superman? I'm just saying, though. You doing it, my brother. You doing it. And, I forgot to ask. I always ask all of my special guests when they call in, brother, where are you calling in from this evening?
Oh, I'm from Miami, like I said before, but I'm in Houston, hot mud, barely, I'm barely talking. No, actually, I just touched the mud. I'm in Houston right now.
See, Texas, stand up. Houston, stand up. Florida, stand up, because I appreciate you for letting this brother come on to the Sister Speak show. That's what's up, because I'm in Dallas, Texas, so we both are in the state of Texas, and that's what's up. And so I know Houston is experiencing the fire, the bars, the gas from Skeet the Young Poet. And I said all that to say, because number one, first, I went on YouTube. Brothers and sisters, you need to go on YouTube. And I'm not going to say all of his Instagram and all of his social media handles. He'll tell you that. But you need to check him out on YouTube, because I listened. I subscribed to the page, and you need to hear his poetry, like with the music, like it's dope. And originally I was like, oh, well, maybe I should play one of the clips, from one of your spoken word, recordings. And I was like, no, because then he may have chosen that piece to perform. Not a good look. So, brothers and sisters, you're going to have to check that out on your own. But I want to ask you, my brother, do you have a piece that you could share with the listening audience this evening? We got to have the fire. We got to have the bars. So,
I could give you my personal favorite.
Okay. I'm ready for your personal favorite.
All right, she might not have a minute that, look at her. Look at that one, she's not my type of woman. What the hell you talking about, Skeet? She's my type of woman. She doesn't care for anything. She cooks and she cleans. She's not into everything. She's a winner that beside me in my dreams. She's not always trying to be things. She's okay with the little things. When I'm around her hard things, she might get a little feisty or mean, but that's one of the reasons I have her on my team. She knows that she's a queen. She caters to her king. Together we're perfect human beings. She's my type of woman. I don't have to worry about her deceiving me. She believes in me. No matter how much we struggle, I don't have to worry about her leaving me. I'm a long ways from perfect, you see. Half of the time I don't know what she sees in me. But through it all, she finds perfection in me. She finds perfection in Skeet. I never have to worry about her neglecting me. I never have to worry about her disrespecting me. But if I get out of line, she just might get to checking me. She's not chasing a check. She wants me for me. She's my type of woman. She has morals. To me, she's loyal. I don't have to worry about her changing around people. I don't have to worry about searching for something new or playing me for a fool. She always tells me the truth. She's my type of woman. She's a queen. She's not a bad. She's all woman, not just a model chick. She's allergic to bush. she knows her worth, so she can't be played with. That's it for that.
Brothers and sisters, call the fire department. Call the fire department. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad, because I really, really love that piece. When I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that piece. And I was like, I almost played it on the show, but I was like, he's probably going to perform that. I am so glad that I didn't. But brothers and sisters, you just heard a dope piece of poetry from Skeet the Young Poet. I mean, let's give it up one more time for Skeet the Young Poet. That's what's up. You know, she's my type of woman. You know, when you hear that, you know, every woman wants to be a man's type of woman. I don't care what any sister says. They want to be chosen. They want to be the one, okay? Sisters be having plans in their heads when it comes to relationships. It's just what it is. This is what they do. So, you know, I want you, if you don't mind, to please share with the sisters in particular that are listening how important it is to be by a brother's side, to have a brother's back, and to be that type of woman. Help these sisters, because some of them just don't know. They don't know how to be who you just spoke about. So give them some game, Skeet. Help them out, my brother. Take it away.
Well, I'll start off first with like how that piece that I just did was inspired. It was inspired like by two things, because as a child, like I went through it as a child, like, but my stepfather, like, he wasn't the best person, like, but he did everything to me, like, but to see my mama, like, you know, he was out there in them streets, he was, you know, doing this and that. And that's who it was inspired about, my mama, like, because for over a decade, like, she stood by his side.
Wow.
Like, through all the BS and all of that, she stood by his side, like, and if you look at him today, like, and I know him, like, when I was a kid, whole 360. She built him up. You know, like, so that alone, like, tells you is important. And I'm not just going to speak on a woman behalf either, because for the ones that are trying to do it, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's back to what we were saying, what society says a man is supposed to be. Because when you get that woman that's riding by you doing this and that, and you right, the dude, you know, you worried about what your homeboys got to say. You worried about them saying you know, you being a B, or you know, you doing this and that, or is it wrong for you to like love your woman and do right by your woman? Like, that's like, it's wrong. Like, everything is wrong nowadays in society. Like, the woman's not standing by the man, and the men are not like allowing them to, and they not standing by them either. You know, and the other part that it was inspired by, like I said, like, you know, I ain't been in the best of relationships, you know?
Yeah.
But I took the good, like, you know, at first I didn't realize what that poem, like, I never know what my poems are like. I know they're like my life, like, they're my life for the most part. Most poems are, that I do 99% on. But at first, I just knew I was taking the good out of every woman I've been with.
Wow. Wow.
And then, like, as I listened to it, like, it's my mama.
Wow.
Like, hands, this is my mama, hands down, you know?
Wow.
And it wasn't even like, I just think, you know, you gotta set the bar, like, more so, like, bring about kings and queens, and, like, someone gotta start when it comes to the woman, like, and what I would say with the woman, though, like, cause understanding them, like, them women that go through that with the dude, that they are standing by. If you're gonna be with them, stand by them. Like, don't sway away. But if you're tired or you're fed up, don't lose yourself or lose your character to try to get at him or do wrong by him, like, cause you doing yourself injustice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like, for the most part, like, so I understand what, like, the woman comes from when, like, they get that dude, like, they been standing by, and they not show, like, the dude not doing their part or showing them, like, you know, it matters that they're standing by, but, like, either you gonna be gone, like, through the BS or whatnot, or you just gonna go away and just find another way, because it's not even about, like, a lot of people think they're losing themselves when they're just, like, going away, but they're really losing themselves when you're trying to stay there, but you're trying to play the game. No, don't play the game. You're either going to stay there, you're either going to leave, you know?
Yes.
Because now, you're not that pure of a woman that you was, you know? And that's what the real queens are, you know? And, like, kings, like, society just lost its way, in my opinion, you know?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So it's like, I can't even, like, you know, answer it directly for the, you know, like what you said, like,
yeah,
for the woman to be that type of woman, because the man ain't doing it either. So it's like,
right.
Like you said in the beginning about the woman, you're not for the woman or the man. Like, I'm for everybody, you know. I'm just for what's right in life, you know.
No, I get it. You know, I just wanted, you know, a lot of times sisters gravitate towards listening to a man when it comes to advice about other men, or, you know, what men are looking for, or just how they relate to women. And so then I was going to ask you, when it comes to the brothers, you know, a lot of brothers, some brothers, you know, have experienced relationships, whether it was the ones that they were in or other people's relationships, most of the time watching their mother or their father and all of their interactions, you know. A lot of times brothers don't know or are not comfortable with being loved, or like to push love away. How do you address, or what would you say to the brothers who have a loyal woman, who have a good woman by their side, but they just keep mistreating her? Or, you know, they may be emotionally abusing her, always tearing her down, or not giving the woman all of what they can be giving to them. You know, what do you say to the brothers who right now are pushing away a good woman?
I ain't gonna lie, your question may be answered for both every time. But, for the dudes, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, me knowing, like, guys, like, I'm not, like, tooting my horn. Like, you know, every dude say they different.
Yeah.
Ask anyone. Any woman I've been with, ask a friend, girl, or sister, my mama, like, I've just always been different. Like, I always felt like, you know, I always felt like, you know, man, they just, like I said, like, it really, everything's wrong with most men is because it's what society says a man is supposed to be. Like,
yes.
That's what I feel like.
Yes.
And most men, I feel like they got a pride issue. Like,
yes.
Most men, they don't have the issue with the woman loving them or nothing like that. They put that in their own head. Like, and that's just how I feel about that whole, like, about men saying, or I don't know how to be loved, or it's all a game in their head, and they just feel like, you know, it's like some of them do, like, it's very few, like, I'm not for that, like, none of them don't, but I just feel like, you know, it's all, like, and then the ones that don't feel that way, it's just more so, it's not what they feel, it's more so what they homeboys feel. You know, because, you know, a lot of them, like, you actually go, like, talk to a dude that's, you know, he good in his relationship, like, he understand, like, what he supposed to be to his woman, but he go back out to the club with his homeboys, and then he come back, it's a whole different story. No.
Man.
Nothing comes before, and then, you know, what I was saying, like, you always ask questions that, like, make me answer for both.
Yes.
It's more so, like, you do get the dude that, like, he'll put it all out there for you, like, literally, right. Like, cut everything off.
Right.
I've been that dude, you know, but I never bashed a female. I never felt bad on any female I've been with, you know, like, or talk bad on them even after the fact. But when I realized that it is dudes out here that want to, like, they'll put you before everything. But what happens is, you know, they done been that dog dude. They done been that dude that, you know, did it because they was tired. Like, they were tired just like most some of these women say they tired. of it, it's the average man side of it. It's not always so much of the woman cheating. You know, it's more so like it's little things. You know, the man might tell the woman like, "This ain't for me." You know, certain things a woman might do. And a woman don't want to do it because this is what I've been doing or this and that. But and a dude, that to go back, and then it's when it goes back to the normal dude. Like, well, even if he ain't normal, he might go to his homeboys, and he might, because I don't talk to nobody outside of my relationship ever.
That's beautiful.
Ever, like I could be crying, hurt, talking to that one person, I'm right.
Wow, that's beautiful.
But like, that's what happened. The dude go talk to his homeboy, like, F her.
Yep.
So it be on both sides, but for the most part, I feel like as that woman, like, if it ain't hurting your relationship, like, if it's only building your relationship up, if it ain't telling you to go kill yourself, it ain't gonna hurt for you to do it if y'all trying to be together for the rest of y'all lives,
Yes. No, I'm.
At the end of the day, it's some dudes, they just dogs, because it's little things that just keep them, like, on edge, like, they would literally, like, drop everything if this one thing was right, but these 2-3 things was right, and a lot of people don't know that. Like nobody looks at everything for every aspect. They think, oh, man, I dogs, all this and that, and I'm like, I can't deny that. There's a lot of dudes, they just dogs out here, but all of them not really bad dudes. They just, it's 50-50 how the woman is now.
Yeah, no,
and it's more so nobody listening to nobody. Nobody they want everything to be perfect, but they don't want to like strive for perfection with that person. So, like they want it just everybody just want, but nobody want to work together.
Right.
Relationship, y'all supposed to be building, y'all supposed to be working together. Like everything, like compromise, because it's no longer I, it's me. And then if you want to have kids, you gotta be the best version of yourself for them kids. It ain't even about y'all no more now. You want kids.
Yep. No, I appreciate that. No, that was, you said many things that were very profound. And like I said, I am for both males and females. I want my brothers and my sisters to get it together. I know we all need work. We are all definitely, for me personally, I'm always under the X-ray machine. I'm always looking at myself, trying to see the things about me that need to go and need to stay, the things that need to be elevated, the things that need to evolve. I'm pretty much probably my worst critic. I can really do some serious damage, if you will, when it comes to just critiquing myself, because I want to be a righteous person. I want to be a righteous human. I want to not make too many mistakes, even though I know that I'm not perfect and I will make mistakes. There's just things that I just want to be more accountable for myself, and that's one thing I love about this podcast is that it has opened up my level of compassion in a whole nother way. The respect that I have for my brothers and sisters has grown and elevated. Not to say that I never had respect, but I just respect it in a whole nother way. The love that I have, it's just certain things about me that I want to be good. And I'm married. And so, there are things that, about me as a wife that are good. And there's things that I could definitely do better. And that's just me being honest, because I'm still learning, relationships. My mom and my dad were married for over 50 years. And my mom, they've only known each other, she never had known another man. And so I have seen my mother stay. And that I was speaking about my other relationships, sometimes I didn't know how to leave, Skeet, when I needed to go, always being mistreated, disrespected, just the normal things that happen, I'm not trying to, say woe is me or have a pity party, but just going through the normal challenges of a relationship. But I never knew how to leave, even though it was bad and I needed to go. But of course, God would always orchestrate a circumstance to where we would end up breaking up. But I would always reflect and say, why didn't I leave? Why didn't I have enough wisdom, enough sense to get out of there? Because you can do some really good reflecting on your past when you're away from it. And you can look back and say, man, how did I ever give myself to that person? How did I end up making that decision? If you're doing some good, if you're doing some good meditation, if you're doing some good reflecting, you're going to come across those thoughts. And I never knew how to leave. I accepted whatever came. And, good, bad, or indifferent, that's just what I saw. And so that shaped me into tolerating things that I shouldn't have tolerated. And, a lot of our brothers and a lot of our sisters have experienced love and relationships, like I said, through our parents. They're really our first role models at relationships, whether they're married or not. And so my goal is, and hopefully other people's goals is to just really do a lot of inner thinking and inner development. I think a lot of people are afraid to spend time by themselves and really just get to know who they are. And, the worst thing that can happen is you not know who you are, and then you want to be in a relationship. And that's where a lot of the mess ups and the blow ups and the tragedies come from. So I just want to encourage my brothers and my sisters, to take the time out, to see who you are. There's nothing worse than getting in a relationship and you're not ready. Just not ready. And, I just thank you, Skeet, because you're speaking the truth. You're speaking about situations that are so true. And you said something that I think is going to really, when you do get married, really sustain your marriage. You said that when I have an issue, I keep it to myself. I write it down or I talk to the person. I don't go outside of my relationship and talk about it. That right there is wisdom. That is pure wisdom, because I have been guilty of doing that, and I know not to do that, and I don't do that anymore. I have gotten to the point where I have been frustrated, and I'm just speaking about in my journey of relationships, and I have talked about the person I was dealing with. And, when you do that, you're inviting other people in, and you're inviting other people to maintain a certain attitude towards that person who you have an issue with. And there's nothing worse than a best friend who has ulterior motives and wants to try to ruin your relationship. I don't feel like anybody should ever put their best friend before their spouse, or any type of situation like that. It's a balance when you're your spouse's best friend, but then your spouse has a best friend. That can get a little tricky. So I just, it can, it really, really can. But I just want to encourage my brothers and sisters to really just start working on yourself so we can have healthier, relationships. I really appreciate that poem that you shared. I think that you have an insight, and I just think you're different, Skeet. I feel like you're very different. You are cut from a different cloth. And it shows. Even though you just approached 30, extremely young, I'm 11 years older than you are. But you wouldn't be able to tell, the difference because you're so wise. And so
I always had an old soul. I've been like this since I was 18. It just got better. It just got better. It's just like I be telling people I even got artists I managed, they 2, 3, 4 years older than me. And I think after a year or two, someone was like, Skeet, I just figured out she was younger than me. I had a meeting with an artist and her husband. And he was like, how old are you? At first I looked young too. And I just tell him, I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah, you probably have.
And then I've been through it, since a child. So it's like,
yeah.
I had a grandma, she passed. I ain't gonna lie, that's the best thing I ever had because I went through it. I went through a lot.
Yeah.
But my grandma, she was the elder at the church, and she used to always be like, grandson things gonna get better. And
Yes.
like to this day, I used to be like, why she always said things like, and now it's like I understand it. I'm that person that would say like I won't tell you things are gonna get better, but I'll be like, man, like it's good in every bad situation if you look at it. You know, like it could be the worst situation, but if you sit there and really look at the situation, look at everything going around, and then like pay attention to the future, the past, and the present. Like it's good that like we just gotta start like taking the bad out of everything. It's good in everything, like literally, you know. And that's what I really like. I appreciated my grandma that time because like she made me realize that. Because for me to go through everything, I know dudes that they resorted to the streets or sold drugs because they doing 20, 30 years, and they had the same life story as me. Because they chose to sell drugs. Because I had a point in time I was gonna run away, you know, but I didn't. You know, like I chose a different route. Like I chose the positive grind, you know. And I always just want to do better for other people, you know.
No, that's what's up. I appreciate it. Now, I know you have some artists that you're working with. Do you want to share with the listeners some artists that we need to be on the lookout for coming out of your camp?
I got X-Dust, like my right hand, you know, and he my right hand business and personal. Like I treat everybody that come on like family. They family to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, SDYP really the goal. Like I was telling you in the beginning when I brought all them people, like everybody that couldn't resort to the business, but like I got business, I got family, but everybody's family. But I got the ones that really want to be on the business side of things, but everybody family to me. But we got X-Stars, so you know, you're a hip hop artist. Got he actually one of my CEOs too at a label division. We got Miss Stiletto, she just had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And X-Dust, like, he actually out here in Houston. He in Memphis right now performing. But, you know, and then we got Mr. Leto in Miami. And what else we got? And what else we got? We got John on the Mafia, Dawn. That's like one of my newest artists that I got from a pre-screening event that I did last year. Got Adele. He's actually in the military still. He's in New York. And also we have Munt. He actually has a label up under my umbrella with 3 or 4 artists. But Munt music, you know, we got a lot of music coming next year, though. You know, they rap, they sing, they do the turn up, they do the street music. But one thing I'll tell you, like when it comes to the label side of things, because a lot of people trying to understand, you know, when you get them initials, these people stand for this. But they like I give you my life story, I just give you the positive, like I give it a little positive twist. You know, but they giving you their life story, their struggles, their adversity, you know, they ain't have it all good. Like some of them had it worse than me, you know. And also I got quite a few artists. I got Isaiah out of Ohio. I have Lil G the Goon, he's on in Chicago. Lil Diddy out of Baltimore. We actually just signed a new artist. I don't even know her name. Cause he signed, like I gotta, cause he sent my, like the month dude that I told you that she's actually, she does piano and she, sings, but she signed to his label. Cause like I got 5 labels that's up under my umbrella.
Wow.
Like I mentor them, and like my goal is to be you know, by the time I'm 60, I want to be doing what Def Jam them doing.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
What Atlanta them doing, but I want to like, when it comes to music, I just want to send a whole new wave out there. Like you could talk about the streets, but I don't want you to like glorify it to the point like this is what it's supposed to be like. I want you to tell them what went on in it. Like really, like it might sound good, the beat and everything, but you're gonna hear like, man, life was rough, you know? Like,
right.
You ain't gonna hear like,
for sure,
this is what we finna be doing for the rest of our life.
Yes. No, I hear you. I get it. I think that's so bossy. I see why you are a mogul, you know, to have 5 record labels underneath what you have going on. That's big, my brother. Like, that's big. You know, brothers and sisters, the time has definitely been spent very well. And I know that you're probably figuring out, if you don't already know, you want to know, how do you get in touch with Skeet the Young Poet? Like, how do you get to his page? How many social media platforms is he on? You know, and we're getting ready to provide that for you. So that's what I want you to do now, my brother. I want you to tell everybody all of your social media platforms, how they can get in touch with you, and what's next for Skeet the Young Poet as far as events are concerned.
said in the beginning, I told you I made a move.
Yeah.
I've been in Houston a hot 30 days, but I was working 2-3 jobs pushing this, and I just stopped working all together. Like, just my relationship, building my family, and just chasing this dream. But, you know, I'm getting situated more so right now, like getting my home right, getting the office right.
Yeah.
And we're working on the first annual showcase for the label, and it's going to be an opportunity for artists that's not signed to us, you know. But the first one's going to be in Miami on my birthday.
Okay. And when is that?
April 7th, 2018.
Okay.
And then every year we're going to do a different state. So next year either be Houston or Atlanta, and then, you know, swap with one of them, and then next, like, 20. I already got a layout and everything, but we're going to do an annual showcase.
That's what's up.
And then on top of that, I'm finna come out more as an artist. Like, I'm working on my first album. It's called SDX, Emulated, Elevated, X-Rated. And it's not what most people think. It's about sex, but it's a sexual erotica. It's a spiritual journey though. Like, it's building up our woman. Like, it's gonna get a little, you know, it ain't gonna be no profanity, and it's gonna get a little erotic. But at the same time, like, it's gonna be like, you know how they get degraded in these songs. Like, they finna get uplifted, and they finna like feel good about themselves, and like not let a dude talk to them and kind of with this album I'm working on. Like, it's really just trying to change the outlook of really like letting women know, like trying to like really be queens, you know, and let the dudes know, like, be kings to women, like treat them like how they should. Outside of that, I'm just working on mentoring my artists, my CEOs, and the people that work beside me, like in different cities and states. And we just trying to like, you know, pave the way and just give people a different outlook while like chasing our dream and allowing that opportunity to other people that want to come be a part of it, you know. But just chasing the dream right now, to be honest, though. And the dream is really just to make a difference and imprint them 4 initials, SDYP, on everybody, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So even if you ain't a part of it directly, you know, you like, you know, we are SDYP, you know.
Already. That's what's up. Now tell them how to get in touch with you on Instagram, or if you have a Facebook, YouTube, and things like that.
God, you know, for the most part, SkeetTheYoungPoet.com. That's me, you know, and it's the same thing for the Instagram and all that handle, Skeet.YoungPoet. But you just go directly to SkeetTheYoungPoet.com. That'll take you to all my stuff, all my like social media, my music, and everything that's up and coming, you know. And then I got SDYPTheMovement.com. That's the company. We actually call it the company. Like me and my right hand, we always call it the company. Because, you know, like I said, it's more than a label. Label just, that's what we're focusing on right now. But when we actually, like, you know, we're actually making money off of this outside of our passion, we want to go into real estate, book publishing, modeling, all of that, you know. And, SDYPTheMovement.com for the website, and the same thing for social media. You go to that website to find our social media, and then find out like about our artists and the people that we've written, the labels and whatnot. And then also we have SkeetSpeaks.com, and that's actually a platform for underground artists that can't afford to be a part of SDYP, because, you know, it is little investments to become a part of SDYP, but Skeet Speaks is more of a lower platform for somebody that's not as serious or that can't put enough, like they're not fortunate enough. They can put up $50, they can do Skeet Speaks, and that's more of a platform I'm trying to go on, almost like a world star direction.
Okay.
Just like support the underground scene, but focus on Miami. But any artist from any city could come. But like when you see little write-ups, you'll see like a lot of artists out of Miami. You know, that's where I'm from. And I plan on doing subsidiary sites for that too, like with my labels and everything, having them like come up with a like, you know, rep their city. 'Cause I got artists and labels in different cities and states. So I want to spread out every platform I'm doing, to be honest. But I'm just starting with little things, you know.
Ain't nothing little about what you doing, my brother. Brother, you big things popping. That's what I'm, every time I see you, when I get to meet you publicly, I'm gonna say, what's up, big things popping? That's your new name. That's the name I'm giving you. Yeah, you Skeet. But to me, your name is Big Things Poppin'. Okay? Brothers and sisters, I mean, Aren't you motivated today? I mean, Skeet's got it going on. We need to catch up, okay? Before this brother just takes over the entire world and we don't have anything to do. No, my brother, I think that you are absolutely dope. I think you're phenomenal. And I'm so grateful that God created you and that you have the passion and the ability and the determination and the wisdom to go after what it is that you're supposed to pursue. And thank you for all that you have done so far on your journey. I know it hasn't been perfect. I know it's been rough. I know it's been challenging, but you have survived. You're here. And not only are you here, you're here with a message. You're here with valuable information and you're giving back. And it's about service. That's what this journey is about. And for you to be so young and off into it the way you are, hats off to you. Salute to you because, that's inspirational. That is motivating. That is what encourages somebody else, whether it's a brother or a sister, to get up, get out, and get something. I'm all for that. I'm all for my brothers and sisters finding out what their passion is and going for it. And Skeet, the young poet, brothers and sisters, he's the one. I mean, you the one, my brother, and it has been absolutely amazing conversing with you on the Sister Speak show. I thank you so much for coming to the stage and blessing us with who you are. I mean, it is amazing. I just really thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Oh, I'm so glad that you do. Did you have a good time on the Sister Speak show?
No, I like it. I like the vibe, man. I like what you're doing for the most part,
I appreciate you. I thank you so much for participating.
We need more people whether that's, following a dream or just doing something, and stuff like things like this, it needs to be done. Even if it's an hour, 2 hours a day or a week or two. So yeah, I appreciate it and I keep this going, whatever you do, even if whatever happened in life, keep it going because it's meaning something to somebody somewhere.
Oh, thank you so much. And that's why I'm so excited that we are an international podcast because all over the world, people get to know who Skeet the Young Poet is. We live in a day and age, where technology allows us to travel from our laptops, from our phones, and connect with people all over. So the beautiful thing about this podcast is, yes, we're recording live tonight, but also anytime, anywhere, anyone can listen to this show on demand. And so that means forever and ever, if they want to check out Skeet the Young Poet, they can always click on your interview and just vibe out to everything that you have said. And so I will keep this going, until I have been given a different assignment. This is something I have always wanted to do. This is something that I have been prepared to do. And I am amazed at the connections that I have with my brothers and sisters. Like, I have met some of the dopest brothers and sisters, and I am just so grateful that on my journey, I never knew when I was 27 that I was going to meet Skeet the Young Poet at 41. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing to me that all these brothers and sisters have been assigned to my journey, and I'm just meeting you guys day by day and vibing with you guys, and now look, everybody gets to hear you and check you out. I mean, I'm all for helping my brothers and sisters. I am not afraid to put someone on, to uplift someone, because I know that what is for me is for me. And so it is about helping each other out. And you got to be confident in that,
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, my brother, I thank you so much for calling in, and I'm not going to say goodbye. What I'm going to say is I'll talk to you later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a copy of tonight's show so you can post it.
Most definitely do that.
and so you can post it and share it with everybody. And before we get off the phone, go ahead and send your shout outs to everybody.
Shout out to, the whole SDYP, Extra Hustler, Lil G the Goon, Lil Diddy, Jono, Misha P, Chanel, Dominique. I ain't gonna lie, I be going on forever. But, shout out to God.
Yes.
Anybody I missed on SDYP, I love y'all. What else? Shout out my mama and my father. And shout out to Faye, it's her birthday tomorrow. So, that's what I'm finna be running around doing. I have to get off with you.
Well, I definitely don't want to hold you from doing that. And hello to the Sister Queen. Hello, Sister Queen.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a big birthday tomorrow, so.
Well, I know you got to do what you got to do, and so we won't hold you any longer, but I thank you so much, Skeet the Young Poet, for being a part of coming to the stage on the Sister Speak show. I really am honored, and I am thoroughly pleased with how this conversation went. I am completely in support of what you're doing, the movement, and everything. You are always family to the Sister Speak show. I'm going to definitely want to have you come on the show again, and hopefully in 2018 with the plans that I am envisioning, that I will be able to travel and meet some of my guests that have been on the Sister Speak show. There's something coming up that I hope we will all be able to collaborate on. So hopefully, I've got, when I tell you, I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm going to give you just a little hint and say, I have a plan and a vision for something so big and so dope that it is going to have the entire world talking about it. And it involves my special guest. It involves you.
Okay,
let
me know.
Oh yeah, it's going down. But anyway, my brother, thank you for calling into the Sister Speak show, and I will talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Take care. Brothers and sisters, let's give it up for Skeet the Young Poet. Now, I need you to tune in a second as we take a commercial break, okay? Here we go.
A host of the Sister Speak show, next on the Sister Speak show, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, Saturday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Skeet the Young Poet, Sunday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, Stacey Morgan, Sunday, December 3rd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Alan Massingberg, the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. This is Ayana, the
brothers and sisters. That lineup is crazy, right? That means that tomorrow there are 2 shows back to back. One at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, the next one at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the Culture Climate, we have Stacey Morgan. And on the Laugh Line, Alan Massingberg. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about my guests. Did you say 2 shows, sister? Yes, that's what we do on the Sister Speak show. Oh, honey, we don't play. If this is the day that you can come on, and if I got to schedule 2 of them, that's what I'm going to do. This is what I do. I really appreciate you all listening. We have one more commercial. Here we go.
The search effort, local, national, international attention to those who have gone missing in our communities. Cold cases in our communities, stories from survivors, special guest interviews. We want you to be on the Sister Speak show. Are you a survivor of a stalking, a kidnapping? Do you have a missing loved one? Contact the Sister Speak show at SGTPGW or at sistergoodthing.com.
Brothers and sisters, we're not playing here on the Sister Speak show. Oh, we are about that life. We have several segments, as I mentioned to you before. We have the platform. We have coming to the stage. We have the culture climate. We have the tour. We have the laugh line and we have the search effort. Yes, there are several segments to the Sister Speak show. We're doing it and we're doing it live. I thank you for tuning into the Sister Speak show, recorded live this evening, Saturday, December 2nd, from Dallas County, Texas, Cedar Hill, Texas, to be exact. I am Ayana, and this evening you had a chance to listen to Skeet, the young poet, my special guest. I want you all to be safe this evening. I want you to hug your husband, hug your wife. I want you to kiss your husband. I want you to kiss your wife. I want you to love on your children. I want you to pay attention to your children. I want you to pray without ceasing, and I want you to drink water before you go to bed and when you wake up. I'm just concerned about you, my brothers and sisters. Hug yourself, love yourself. Just don't touch yourself. You don't need to do that. I will be speaking with you all tomorrow night. Actually tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. with my special guest, Stacey Morgan. I don't want you to miss it. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Change is coming, okay? Your season is coming. You just hold on. Get up, get out, get something. You're coming up, coming out, coming over, and coming into a new season. Press your way through. I love you. I want you to tune in tomorrow to the Sister Speak show. This is Ayana, the hostess of the Sister Speak show. You've been listening to Coming to the Stage. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Take care now.